here in Valdosta, Georgia, in front of the Martin Luther King Monument. A man that gave so much to preserve the rights for all American citizens. I was just notified a few minutes ago by a white Latino person who had an encounter with the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. We're going to let you know more about that. But it seems as if though the rights of the citizens in Valdosta and Lowndes County have been trampled on, stepped on, walked on for so long until blacks and poor whites feel like they have no recourse. They allow members of law enforcement to enter their homes without a search warrant, enter their vehicles without a search warrant, talk to them any kind of way without any remorse or respect. I believe that it's going to continue. But I also believe that as Valdosta and Lowndes County advances with people from all around the nation and the world, I believe that it's going to hit the taxpayers pretty hard in their pockets in the court system. And we don't have anybody to blame but ourselves for allowing individual rights to be pushed and trampled upon. I'm going to be talking more about that in the very near future. But I'm also going to add this, that if you have an encounter wherein you feel your rights have been violated, we know you can't go to the news media because they won't report it. I'm saying to you, pick up your iPhone, pick up your smartphones and record what is happening to you, post it on Facebook, post it on YouTube, put it on Twitter, tell people what's going on, expose what they don't want the world to know, show the truth. Since there was a time when you could go to your newspapers, your television and your radio, those days are long gone. Don't even worry about them. Don't bank on them telling your story. You tell your story yourself. It has never been clearer to me that the South Georgia news media is just not going to tell our story. When I was denied the right to attend Lowndes County high school graduation by the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, no news media, no television, no radio, no newspaper would report that to you because it's insignificant. The First Amendment right does not mean anything anymore in this country when it comes down to newspapers, television, and radio. We'll talk about the 44th president taking away our rights and we want our country back. But it seems as if though we don't want our rights back. When law enforcement had to have a search warrant to enter your home, when law enforcement had to have a search warrant to go in the privacy of your own automobile, or to have some type cause for throwing you up against the car, or accusing you for obstruction of a police officer. But those days are long gone because the citizens in the United States, and in Georgia in particular, we don't seem to fight for anything anymore. All we want to do is get to heaven. How many preachers have you seen out fighting for civil, human, and other rights in our community? How many professional people do you see standing up for the poor outside of their own individual denomination? And so I'm going to continue to say it because I believe it with everything within my heart. And that is this. If we, the people of America, can put our life on the line in foreign nations to fight these wars for big business and politicians, then don't you think that we should stand up for our own children's rights and the rights of people that are on active duty, the retired military veterans in particular, disabled veterans. It's a sad day when we allow law enforcement to accuse us, to take away our rights that we fought so hard to maintain under our form of government. And because of fear, we sit idly by and say nothing except in the bathroom of our own homes, and even then we say it at a very low tone of voice because we live in fear. But I'm here to say to you that fear is the product of ignorance. Let me repeat. Fear is the product of ignorance. If you are not ignorant, then you do not fear. But when you live in fear, you are ignorant. For God said, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So wherever you find a man or a woman that is afraid to stand up for his rights, that is an ignorant individual. If you are not ignorant, you are not afraid. Only the ignorant people are scared to stand up against the powers that be. And when we are ignorant, we produce ignorant children. Children who are afraid to stand up for their own rights. Dr. King was not ignorant, and so he did not fear. Malcolm X was not ignorant, so he did not fear. Make no mistake about it. You can act like you're not afraid, but if you live in ignorance, you're scared, and you cannot stand up as you should. So I just want to say to you today, soon and very soon, we're going to be talking about what nobody wants to talk about. And we're going to bring it to the forefront. If I could be picked up for criminal trespassing and I had violated no law, how many young black African Americans are in jail today for obstruction of police officers, for committing crime, for having marijuana in the car, although they believe that it got there by means other than themselves. We may not believe that, but if I could be charged with criminal trespassing and I violated no law, then why could not this be prevalent in other circles of our legal system? And so we're going to leave you now, but I shall return with a greater truth, because Jesus said, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. Once again, this is kvci.blogspot.com. That means keeping Valdosta citizens informed. I started that blog in the 90s because I got tired of being ignored by the South Georgia press. That includes news media here in South Georgia. They would tell when we commit crimes. They would post us on the front page. But when we go to Rosewood and do work down there, they wouldn't report that. When we go to Atlanta and fight for the HUD funding here in Valdosta, they wouldn't report that. They wouldn't talk about that. When we talk about getting money on the south side of the economic and social divide, they wouldn't report that. And when I was called in and banned from the school system without any signature from a judge, they wouldn't report that. It was as if though they want to keep us. Yeah. Greetings. I'm George Boston Rhynes, and in the month of May, I was issued, I guess, an invisible criminal trespass warning that restricted me from the Lowndes County High School graduation. I was ordered off the property or I would be arrested. There were witnesses standing all around when Deputy Thomas gave me those instructions, and he said it was based upon a legal authority to ban me from the Lowndes County High School graduation for the year of 2013. When I asked the magistrate court about this criminal trespass, I asked the Superior Court. I went to the District Attorney's Office. I went to U.S. District Courts. I went to the Lowndes County Investigative Division or Department. Then I talked to Sheriff Bryan himself. And he said that he would look into it, but he knew nothing about a criminal trespass on me. Yet my constitutional rights to move freely in this country had been violated. My friend John Robinson called the superintendent of Lowndes County High School, Wes Taylor. He said he never took out any trespass warrant on me or warning. It had to be the sheriff department. The sheriff department said that it was Wes Taylor. The courts here in Valdosta and Lowndes County know nothing about it. And so when I went to the local television stations and newspapers here in Valdosta, they don't value apparently the First Amendment rights. And so I'm going to try my best to let the people in the United States of America, outside of the state of Georgia, understand that we pride ourselves in a nation of laws. So to all the mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and children, if you have a child that will come to Georgia Military College, they could be stopped by a member of law enforcement, told that they have a criminal trespass warning that could have been in effect for 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, or a year, I guess. And if you go on a certain piece of land, they could arrest you, and you have absolutely no knowledge of it. This is what people must go through here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, Georgia, and in the state of Georgia. Georgia Attorney General are fully aware of the closed government here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, and South Georgia in general. The Georgia Attorney General put out a handbook. The handbook apparently does not worth the paper that is written on. Why am I doing this? Because military veterans right now living in Valdosta and Lowndes County could have the same things done to them that happened to me. Moody Air Force Base, just 9 miles away. The people stationed out there, the men and women serving their country, same thing could happen to them. And so, we want you to know that I do not take this lightly. To all the students that attend Georgia Military College, I think you need to join me, because one day you may be coming from a party, or you may be coming from church, or you may be coming from school. And then those blue lights come up behind you and say, you were speeding. You ask them, let me see it on radar. If you based upon the trespass and warning that I was given and never received because apparently it's invisible, they could charge you for that. And you can start your criminal activity right there. And you could be arrested and taken to the Lowndes County Jail. Now, do you not know, for the South Georgia news media not to report this to the general public by way of television and newspapers, what country are we living in? Once again, this is George Boston Rhynes, keeping you informed because you have a right to know. Bye-bye.